Excited for that? So today you got a special treat. We're still doing the public hearing, correct? So for those of you who are here tonight, you get to experience a political double header. We're going to do a public hearing and then we're going to do a full blown meeting. So you get that much excitement and it was all in one ticket price. Think about that, guys. This is a great night for y'all. So having said that, why don't we go ahead and we'll open the public hearing at this point. We'll let you open the meeting.
Mr. Kelly?
Here.
Mr. Freeman?
Here. Here. And we're going to do Pledge of Allegiance right quick. And let's see, who can we pick on to do? Mike. We're going to have Mike. Mike Castillo is going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. We'll see how well he does because he's standing in for his boss. His boss does so on the Pledge of Allegiance. You've got a lot.
Raising the bar.
You raise that bar because he's reading. Go ahead, let's do it.
All right. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So now we will begin with the public hearing. Eddie, do you want to, Eddie or Christine, do you guys want to do the groundwork for the public hearing?
Yeah, I'll just give a brief overview, but it's primarily Katie's probably the best person to speak on this. So the public hearing pertains to 3787 Sturbridge Way, which was a variance that ended up going to the Court of Common Pleas, and an agreement was proposed. So I can hand it off to you.
Yeah, so this is 3787 Sturbridge Way. They had a pool constructed in their backyard. The pool was in violation of the setback requirements that are imposed by the Pierce Township zoning resolution. As a result, they came before the Board of Zoning Appeals and asked for a variance that was denied by the Board of Zoning Appeals, and they appealed that denial to the Common Pleas Court as part of an administrative appeal process under Chapter 519 of the Ohio Revised Code. In connection with this appeal, there has been settlement negotiation with respect to imposing a penalty for the violation of the zoning resolution with the potential of offering the variance that they are seeking with respect to their pool in their backyard. So in connection with that, if the township were to, in fact, vote to approve the settlement, we are going to do that in the form of a consent decree because this is a settlement involving real property, and that would get recorded with both the court and the recorder's office. Yeah. So that's what is presented before the board today. We can have a public hearing if anybody in the crowd would like to speak to this. And then at that point, we would close the public hearing and move into the regular meeting. And there is a motion on the regular meeting agenda for the consideration of this consent decree.
Okay. So having said that, is there anyone here that would like to testify for or against this particular piece of legislation?
Okay, at that point, you can close the public hearing, having heard no comment.
But these people, they paid for more time than this. Okay. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion and a second to close public hearing. Do we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Kelly?
Here.
Mr. Shepherd?
Here.
And Mr. Freeman?
Here. It passes. So now can I have a motion to come out of the session? We came out of the session to adjourn the session. Okay, we're done. We're done. See, an error on the last play. Sorry, guys. All right, so now we can go into our full board meeting. Can we call that board meeting to order, please?
Mr. Kelly?
Here.
Mr. Freeman?
Yes, here.
Mr. Shepherd?
Here.
All right, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance again. Mike, you were just average the last time. Got it? You got to hit it. Bring it. Bring it with some energy this time. All right. All right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I gotta tell you, the crowd is actually better than you were. But what I really liked was that the crowd really, they were rooting for it. They were trying to bring you across the finish line. Poor Mike was out trying to clear the roads the other day, and I was watching him, and he was cutting some brush, and some jerk just pulled up next to him and said, "Hey, what are you doing playing in traffic?" Yeah, you remember that guy? Yeah, it was me. All right. So with that, we'll move on into approval of the minutes.
I request, we only got one this time.
Now,
I request a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of July 22nd.
Make the motion. Second.
we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd,
Here.
and Mr. Freeman.
Yes. All right, we have a public presentation. Grant Career Center is here to discuss, I guess, there's ultimately a ballot initiative that you're talking about, or just
Exactly right.
in general, talking about what you bring to the community as a whole.
Exactly. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk tonight. We did trim down our presentation just a little bit, being mindful of your time, but we are here because on November 3rd, we will have a ballot issue in front of the voters. We're going to tag team on this. We have a 50-year-old facility over there in Bethel, Ohio, serving our community. And it's done great for 50 years, but times have changed across those 50 years. And working with the OFCC, we have the opportunity to reimagine that career center, reimagine that campus, reimagine the spaces in which we deliver career technical education, and working with the OFCC. The burden of the cost of that facility upgrade is lowered significantly. So we're going to tell you a little bit about that ballot issue, and we're going to tell you a little bit about the great things that are happening at Grant Career Center.
So when we put this presentation together, we wanted to make sure that we could take it on the road. And so we've scheduled about 30 presentations. We understand that some people in our community might not know a lot about Grant Career Center, so we wanted to give some high-level detail about this organization that has the ballot issue on. We are an independent joint vocational school district, and we serve southern Claremont County. We serve the 4 school districts of Felicity Franklin, Bethel Tate, Williamsburg, and New Richmond. We are governed by a 5-member Board of Education, all of which are appointed by those 4 school districts. Our mission at Grant Career Center is to equip students with skills, capabilities, and sense of purpose to succeed in their lives. So for us, it's not just about the academics. It's not just about the career technical skills. It's about having a direction when you get to be a senior, and that we've given you the tools to be able to enroll, enlist, or go directly into the workforce. And finally, we have been named the top workplace for the past 5 years, and we're pretty proud of that. When people think of Grant Career Center, they often think about our campus out there in Bethel, where we serve primarily juniors and seniors, but we have much more than that. We have strong partnerships with our 4 associate schools. So we have a few satellite programs in those schools. And then we piloted with Williamsburg last year, and then rolled it out to New Richmond and to Bethel this past year. And what it does is it allows students in grades 7th through 10th grade who want to stay at those schools to have an exploratory experience with career tech. What was really cool about that is it allows us to draw down the dollars for those students. And because we at Grant can pull down those dollars at a higher rate than the traditional schools do, we were able to pay that back to the 3 associate schools. For perspective, we paid out $1.2 million to the 3 schools. And that was a pretty exciting thing for those schools. We also have an adult education arm, which is known as the Brown and Claremont Adult Career Campuses. That is the first merged adult education program in the state of Ohio. It is a merged program with Southern Hills Career Center out in Georgetown. Both programs, not unlike adult ed programs across the state, were losing money for many years, and our general fund was having to subsidize that. So Mr. Perry and Kevin Kratzer out at Southern Hills said, what if we merged our programs together, reduced our costs, and hopefully expand programs. And happy to report that that is the case. It now is self-sustaining, and we have 11 adult education programs.
I'm realizing that we were remiss that we didn't introduce ourselves. I know a lot of you here, but I don't know. I think I know everybody. My name's Mike Perry, and I'm the superintendent at their Grant Career Center.
And our
So one of our focuses, our main focus at Grand Career Center is always the student, right? The student is our heart. The student is the reason we come to work every day. And we think it's important to measure how we're doing with those students to ensure their future success. Kelly mentioned that we view future success really in three buckets, right? You're going to enroll, you're going to enlist, or you're going to become employed. And so we know there's some tools to get you there. So these are some of our key performance indicators that we look at annually. First of all, graduation rate. Our community expects our high schoolers to graduate from high school, and we do that pretty well. 100% of our students graduated last year. It's always 98 to 100% each year. Industry credential rate gives employers the confidence that the students that we're sending to them have the technical skills that they need to be successful. So those are your welding credentials, your certified medical assistant credentials, and the list goes on and on. 99% of our students last year earned those credentials. 73% of those credentials were graduation ready credentials. They were high-end credential. Finally, you get down to post-program placement rate. That says that 88% of our students go out, have successfully done those things we want them to do, right? 70% of them went to work, 30% of them enrolled in post-secondary education, and about 5% each to a military program or to an apprenticeship program. Of course, I can be employed and in college both, so I can have more than 100% in that scenario. So our performance reads pretty well as an organization. And then this is, we kind of buried the headline here. We have been tremendously successful when it comes to gaining new students. Our enrollment is skyrocketing. We're the largest we've ever been. In our 50-year history. We have last year we had 598 students that we were able to educate, 598 FTEs, full-time equivalent students. I joined the organization in FY18, and we have since doubled the number that we've had that we're able to connect with. We're bursting at the seams. We're putting students everywhere we can find a nook and cranny to educate them in. It's a place that students want to be. Over that 5-year period of 2020 to 2025, we were the 4th fastest growing career center in the state of Ohio. We're very proud of that.
That increased enrollment has a direct relationship to our funding. So the state of Ohio pays us by student. So this is a bar graph that shows you our actual financial results for the past 3 years, as well as a 5-year forecast. You can see those blue bars just climb as that enrollment increase. Those blue bars are made up of 30% property taxes and 70% of our funding comes from the state of Ohio. Those yellow bars are our expenditures. You can see for the past 3 years, we've lived within our means and our expenditures have stayed within our revenues. There is a spike there in FY 2026, and that's because we were very fortunate to be awarded an $8.5 million grant from the state of Ohio that allowed us to build a new welding facility and also renovate our allied health. That had a local match of about 1.2 million, and so that's where you see that spike. Then we level back off, and we spend about $12 million a year going forward, and those you can see from the bar graph that we do keep those expenditures within the revenues. We do undergo an annual audit, just like all school districts do, through the state auditor's office. We've been the recipient of the Ohio Auditor of State Award for the past 12 years for our clean audits. And we do this forecast at least twice a year. So that was our operating results. You know, a lot of times when school districts go on the ballot is because they need an operating levy. Grand Career Center went on the ballot once in the 70s for that, once in the 80s, and the last time was in 2005, 21 years ago. What's on the ballot in November is not an operating levy. It's a bond issue and a permanent improvement levy for a construction project to renovate part of our building and to add on. In terms of our operating, I showed that we do our best to live within our means, and you can see there in the box on the left, we've taken some cost-cutting actions over the past 6 years to keep those expenditures in control. We've had some staff reductions. We've contracted out our cafeteria management. We've had the merger with our adult ed program. And probably one of the most unique things is 4 of our instructors are actually employees of our business partners. So we leverage their expertise and we're not on the hook for their full salary and benefits if they were one of our employees. And then finally, we take care of the cost side, but we also maximize many of those competitive grants as we can. In the past 8 years, we've brought in $14.2 million outside of our general fund. That's allowed us to expand programming and do work outside of the general fund.
So as I mentioned, this project that is proposed would be in conjunction with the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission. And at any time they are involved with the project, they are going to dig into the details and make sure that we are ready and prepared and qualified for that project. So for years, they've been at Grant Career Center, lifting up our ceiling tiles, looking in all of our closets, checking things out thoroughly. They produce an assessment report out of that. It's a very long report, lots of detail in it. This chart comes directly from it. It shows, I think, 23 different systems, and it's pretty obvious, right? Red's bad, yellow's okay, green's good. We got two things going for us at Grant Career Center. We got a great concrete foundation that's not going anywhere, and we don't have any asbestos in the building. Other than that, it needs repaired or replaced, and most of the things are up for replacement. So we face some real challenges according to the OFCC. So how does that translate into actuality within the building? Tangible challenges we face. We have safety and accessibility issues. First of all, when it comes to accessibility, is because we have so many students. In 1973, they built our high bay labs with storage spaces on a second story, a mezzanine second story. We've had to convert those into academic spaces. Kids, we put tables and chairs and projectors up there, and kids go up there for class. If I have a young person with a mobility issue or is in a wheelchair, that's not going to work. It is not accessible to those young people. If you've been onto campus, we have one way in and one way out. We got a single driveway. It's long and it's curved. And our friends in the public safety sector tell us that is quite dangerous. If somebody had a tragedy on campus in some way and it got blocked, that will present a real challenge to our friends in public safety. That needs to be adjusted. Modern building efficiency, we have 37 separate and independent HVAC units heating and cooling our building every day. We're fortunate that they're on a lot, but that's inefficient, right? And they all work independently. There's no centralized control for them. At their root, inefficient. As we mentioned, we've outgrown the building in 1976. It was built for somewhere between 350 and 400 students. We have 500 plus in the building right now. We're tucking them in everywhere we can. Workforce demands have changed, and in terms of equipment, our equipment that they're expecting our students to put their hands on before they enter the post-graduation experience, they're big. They're real world. They want them to experience the actual equipment. So we need space to put that in. And then finally, in 1976, you came to Grant and you learned welding. And then you learned construction tech, or you learned engineering. The world of work doesn't look like that anymore. They want a welder to work with an engineer who's working with an IT professional. They want to have collaborative cross-program projects that are going on. We don't have a space in the building to do that. It's a real challenge. And these challenges, overcoming these challenges will ensure that that building is going to be in a good spot for the next 50 years. We're going to continue serving the community.
So our ballot issue will be presented to all four of our communities on November 3rd, and it will help to fund a $59 million construction project. That $59 million, what's important to note is $34 million of that will be paid for by the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission. So they fund 2 joint vocational school districts a year, and our number is up. And so we have that opportunity to take advantage of that $34 million, which is 58% of the project. The remainder, that $25 million, is the local share that we are proposing to our community in the form of a $1.15 million bond issue for 37 years. And because it's an OFCC project, they require that you have a dedicated source of funding for the maintenance of that building. And so that maintenance requirement will be met with a permanent improvement levy of 0.84 mils. So together, they're 1.99 mils. That would be on the ballot, and for $100,000 appraised value, that's $5.80 per month. And then finally, there the QR code. I gave you all a one pager, a fact sheet. That QR code right there, that's on that fact sheet, will take you to our website, and we have a frequently asked questions and answers We have all of our community presentations where we'll be, listed there, as well as the ballot language, and any other information that you would like to have about the ballots. And Greg, person.
Let's answer some questions.
Okay.
If you have any.
I don't have any, but do you gentlemen? No.
Can't thank you enough.
You want to
for
see if
your
the crowd has any questions for you?
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Who takes care of us firemen, guys?
They're actually Great Oaks, joint vocational system, right? So there are friends and neighbors. Right, we like to, cooperatively compete with them. They're the largest in the nation. We're the seventh smallest in the state. So we're like that annoying gnat that flies around Great Oaks.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Great question. Thank you.
All right, cool.
Thank you all very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Have a great night. Okay, so let's move on into our departmental updates. I think we've got something to do here with the police.
Yes, it's a very special night for the police department. To my knowledge, we've never had an assistant chief position within the department. We had a competitive process, and Justin Schultz came out on top of that process. At the July 22nd trustee meeting, the trustees approved the appointment of Justin Schultz to the position of assistant chief. And trustee Freeman, if you're able, I would like you to swear him in.
Okay, if I'm able. I've got a little bit of bad news for you, Justin. All right. So normally, just, we've been doing some swearing ins, in between, so like Monday or last week, we did one. That particular oath was much shorter than the one you had. All right, that's fine. And no cheat sheets. All right. All right, ready? All right, raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Justin Schultz,
Get that one right. Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States of America,
and laws of the United States of America,
of the state of Ohio and of Pierce Township,
state of Ohio, and Pierce Township,
to which I am appointed,
which I am appointed,
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
will discharge the duties of this office.
will discharge the duties of this office.
I will faithfully and honorably
I will faithfully and honorably
strive to protect our future,
strive to protect our future,
protect the safety, lives, and property
protect the safety, lives, and property
of our citizens and my fellow members.
of the citizens and my fellow.
Congratulations, Paul. Let's have a round of applause. It's amazing how fast the room clears out after those events. It's like they don't really even want to be here for us.
The other update I would like to
Yes,
talk
sir.
about is the school resource officer program. And I sent through Eddie some information to you regarding that initiative.
Right.
I plan to make a motion at the September trustee meeting to get that approved by the trustees.
Okay.
And if that is approved, I am working on an MOU for the schools that Katie will review. And we'll dot our i's and cross our t's. I think it's a great opportunity to create this program and this partnership with two of our 3 grade schools. And they are really looking forward to it. And if it's approved, it will begin roughly around October 12th.
Okay, great.
That's great.
Thank you, sir. All right, next up, fire EMS.
I don't have anything this evening.
Not a thing.
I could come up with something.
I'm sure you can. Let's move on. Service department.
All right, all I have is the tornado cleanup update. It went well. We had lots of people out there helping us. We still have a little residual cleanup after this last little blow, but with that, I'd like to thank Batavia Township for all their help with Spresser Hill, Beggins Run, which was probably the worst area, and Priority Tree LLC out of Milford, Ohio. They helped a lot, volunteers, and the Rubicon for their help with the tornado cleanup in the park, the nature park up there,
Okay.
preserve with Pond
Yeah.
Run. So that's all I got.
No, is the nature preserve up on Pond Run? Is it open?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, there's a trail or two that they still have to mow.
Okay.
It still has some brush in it, but other than that, I mean, everything cleaned up pretty well.
Yeah.
So we still have some things in Ohio Township that we have to clean up also.
Yeah.
We're going to help them out. So at
Right.
some point.
And of course, you have additional from this most recent.
Yeah, we have, and then, well, we had a little bit from the heavier rain earlier before the tornado
Mhm.
that we were still working on also.
Right.
So, but that's taken care of.
Anything you guys can do to help Duke Energy get our power back
Man,
up?
I'd love to do it. I wish I had a bucket truck to fix the electric myself.
I think that's all we need to do is find a bunch of bucket trucks and we'll
Absolutely.
send our service department out and get it done.
Absolutely. That's all I got.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, Parks and Green Space.
Good evening.
Hello.
Let's see, update on events. So, next concert in the park is August 22nd. Just sent a reminder out on that earlier today, just with the timeline of volunteers showing up. The band is Zack Attack. Ohio Lansar will, as they always do, help out with traffic control at first aid. September 19th, we've got our first Touch a Truck event at Spencer Shank Park from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Looking forward to that. We are also, just kind of unrelated to events, we are making some progress on the Arboretum work for Locust Corner Park. Unfortunately, one of the trees that we kind of went through and mapped out which ones we're going to tag, for that. Unfortunately, one of them was blown over yesterday.
Saves you a little work.
But we've
Really.
got more, obviously, plenty of opportunities to recover from that. It's just a shame when anybody's seen it, the huge tree there by the playground. It's a shame, but, anyway, but that's moving forward. Next step, is getting some signs made to post them and then make the application.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Todd.
Okay, planning and development. Christine's favorite topic, data centers.
Yes, zoning commission discussed data centers at their last meeting, and they recommended that the board extend the moratorium through the end of May of next year. They're really diving in, looking at various options and leaning towards creating a special zoning district for data centers. So a rezoning would be required under that type of process. It will be on the agenda for the September meeting, and public comment will be welcome. So if anyone would like to attend, you can also email me if you just have comments. You can't make the meeting but want to provide comments. That's another option for public participation as well. So if the board is inclined to extend the moratorium, we could have that on the agenda for the September board meeting if you'd like.
Okay. What's the thought of the board with regard to extending the moratorium.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, and I'm glad they're diving into it and everything seems like it's moving in the right direction. So
What I would like to know are we have to be one of the first in the country that went with the moratorium. Now it seems to be a hot, thing to do, but I think we set the trend, didn't we? I think, Eddie, let's work on trying to figure out who came first. I know that's really,
I'll take number
I'm
one.
sure that's a critical component of what you do every day. Find out stupid things Alan wants. All right. Well, thank you very much. What's next?
So accessory dwelling units, you might have heard that term. It's basically a smaller second unit on a residential property. Sometimes they're called in-law suites. It could be a small studio apartment over a garage, or sometimes it's a smaller unit connected by a breezeway, that kind of thing. The Board of Zoning Appeals had a case related to that, and they suggested that possibly we may want to look at addressing accessory dwelling units in our zoning code because it's likely to come up again. It's kind of a popular thing. It helps elderly family members age in place, more affordable housing. Those are kind of some of the things I hear in the planning world of why they're becoming more popular. So.
Okay.
It's really the kids moving back home.
Okay, anything else? All right, administration.
Thank you.
Now,
So,
I did tell you something that is going to be corrected a little bit by what he's going to say.
As a result of our last meeting, I met with Jeremy Evans and a couple team members at the county about White Oak. They were in agreement with the board about kind of getting something moving quickly due to the water line project and everything else going on Lewis and White Oak. Presently, right now, the last discussion I had with Jeremy was that he was kind of refreshing his memory and going over all of the study documents and everything, and also getting pricing together for some of those quick options as well.
Okay.
And so we're going to reconvene here probably in the next couple of weeks and should have something in September one way or another on what to do to move forward.
And I do want to do something, with some of the folks that live over there, so we can have a roundtable or some sort of a planning session so that their thoughts can be included.
Okay.
Sound
Understood.
good? Okay, cool. Thank you. All right. So it looks like we've gone to administration. Now it's time for new business. I look at Debbie because she always goes first.
Because I'm special.
She's special.
I request a motion to approve the payment of payroll for the month of July in the amount of $654,966.90.
And because that's payroll, that's why we think she's very special. Do we have a motion?
motion.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mr. Freeman.
Yes.
I request a motion to approve the payment of bills for the month of July in the amount of $445,388.71.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Shepherd.
Yes.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
And Mr. Freeman.
Yes.
I request a motion to establish a resolution to direct the cannabis revenue to be placed into the general fund where there are no restrictions for use.
We have a motion.
We've looked into this. I mean, this is just normal operating procedure for these funds, right?
Right.
Just to be sure.
I went by my guide.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I'll
so
second.
okay, I was gonna add to that, but you seconded it. But for everybody else, the reason why we put it into the general fund for general use is because the state legislature has created the rules for how the cannabis revenue is to be distributed. And so in order to use it, we have to put it into the general fund, and then we can flow it out to projects external to that. So have we gotten a payment yet for that?
Not yet. That's
Okay.
why I want to get this.
That makes sense.
established, this
Got it.
resolution. Now
Right.
that we have a,
Now that we're gonna do it, yeah. So we have a motion, we have a second. Do we have any further discussion other than what I just did, sir? Don't
we
really
don't know yet.
We hope a lot,
Yeah.
but who knows? So any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Shepherd.
Yes.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes. So Debbie, you're still up.
I request a motion to approve the payment to the Treasurer of the State of Ohio in the amount of $6,636 for the 24 and 25 audit fee.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion on that? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mr. Freeman.
Yes. Chief Brockstrom, you're up.
I request a motion to purchase two Dell ProSlim desktop computers from Computer Systems Management for $2,718. The computers will replace two obsolete desktop computers in the officer's work area. The quote covers the cost of setup, data transfer, and software installation.
Do we have a motion?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
and Mr. Freeman.
Yes. Chief?
And I request a approval to terminate the flock safety lease program. If approved, the police department will work with flock safety to have the 10 cameras removed.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion and a second. He did not waste time. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the matter? Fire away.
Mr. Kelly,
Hold on.
The cameras are located throughout the township, major ingress and egress points. They were set up about a year ago with a grant from the state. And recently we've had some cameras damaged. And since we are leasing the cameras, we are responsible for the damages, which can be quite expensive. The lease is due to expire for 8 of the cameras in October and for the 2 other cameras in December. So I believe it's prudent right now to take the cameras down early so we're not subject to any other damages to which we would incur an expense on.
Yeah, they all come down.
I think that's a Union Township.
I think that one's
Yeah.
ours.
The
That's great.
Bridgeway church camera is going to be Axon, and that was installed by Union Township, and they are going to move the camera.
See, I thought the one on our side was ours. There was another one, another mirror to it, but I misunderstood that.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. With that, time to do a roll call.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mr. Freeman.
Yes. Okay, so we just did the flock. So what is our next? I've lost track here, guys. We're on number 7. Chief Wright, you're up.
I request a motion to renew the time block for IT services from CSM Incorporated in the amount of $3,600 for 30 hours, noting this expense is for all township departments.
Make the motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, Service Department.
Okay, Service Department Road Crew Foreman Mike Castile requests a motion to approve the first payment of the 2026 road surfacing in the amount of $124,501.60 to the Claremont County Engineer. Second payment will be due August 30th, 2026 for $124,501.60.
Okay.
Motion.
Wait a minute. That one was, the first one was approved last month. So this would be the second payment that's due.
Yeah, and I guess she just wrote it wrong. So this is the second payment. then.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we would amend that,
Amended,
that this is the second payment,
yes.
second and final payment, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, I will second that with the amendment.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes. Mike, you're still up.
All right, Service Department Road Crew Foreman Mike Castile requests a motion to approve the buyback of lot 293 graves 1 and 2 in section 4 in Pierce Township Cemetery in the amount of $1,400 from Gary E. and Patricia E. Berger, with Mr. and Mrs. Berger giving up all rights to said lot.
Make the motion.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion on the matter? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mr. Freeman.
Yes. Okay, number 10, Eddie.
Good. I request a motion to approve resolution 2026-006, a resolution to authorize the administrator to execute all purchases and contracts for amounts equal to or less than $10,000.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the matter? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes. Eddie, you're still up.
I request a motion to authorize staff to execute amendment number 1 to the on-call agreement for American Structure Point Engineering, an extension of 1 year.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion on the matter? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes. Okay.
Good. And I request a motion to authorize staff to execute an agreement with Branstetter Carroll to evaluate the former Amelia Police Department site for improving fire department response times in the community in an amount not to exceed $10,000.
Make the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes. All right, Chairman Alan Freeman gets to make one now. This is where it all comes back together again. Remember, we had the public meeting in the beginning? This is where it all reconvenes. Chairman Alan Freeman requests a motion to approve with conditions. No?
Yeah, approve. Conditions, whatever is the pleasure of the
There was a condition though inside the actual
board. Yeah, the approval just of the terms of the consent.
terms of the consent decree. Okay, I just want to make sure I had that clear. Motion to approve the consent decree for the property located at 3787 Sturbridge Way, Cincinnati, Ohio 45245. Now, that, just to make it clear, that is to approve the consent decree.
I will make the motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll, any further discussion on the matter? Roll call.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes. All right, so that concludes new business. Now we move into item number 7, which is executive session. So what I'm looking for now is a motion to adjourn into executive session as permitted by the Ohio Revised Code, section 121.22 G3, to conference with the township attorney to discuss imminent or pending litigation.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Probably not at this point, but go ahead.
I just kind of interested in knowing what happened to the community development, expenditures, for the Jetting Lane Trail.
That was from the last one. So why don't we hold that for the actual public comment section? Because that doesn't pertain to what we're doing right now.
All right. We are in the middle of a.
We're in the middle of a
and our
motion to go
executive
to, and we already
and the
have a,
public comment is at the end
yeah,
of the
we-
meeting.
not only are we in the middle of it, we have a motion and a second. So at this point, let us go into that and kind of keep to our agenda. Roll call, please.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes, we have a second motion to enter into executive session pursuant to RC 121.22 G6. Details relative to security arrangements and emergency response protocols for a public body when disclosure of matters discussed could reasonably be expected to jeopardize the security of the public body, meaning national security. Having said all that, can we have a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes, neither of these should take very long. I don't think there's going to be any action taken, but there could be. So stay put because we also have public comment and floor discussion. Also, if you want to ask, you could maybe one of these two can just answer your question before we get back.
I'll have something back.
I've made good time. And I've been stable. So here's where we bog down. Okay, here we are. We're back in session. Can I have a motion to re-enter regular session?
So moved?
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, Debbie.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd?
Yes.
And Mr. Freeman?
And we're back. So with that, I did earlier say we were not going to take action. Probably. Truth is, we are. So Eddie, would you make the motion, please?
Sure. Yep. I request a motion to approve the Computer Systems Management Incorporated SLA Silver Package for IT security.
Okay.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion on that matter? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shepherd?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
And Mr. Freeman?
Yes. Okay. All right. Now with that, we've got public comment, open floor discussion. I'm going to let you go last, because I want to get the road projects out of the way first. And then I'll bet you have a bunch of questions for us too. Have you had fun? Have you had fun tonight watching all this craziness? Kind of. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
That's not terrible, huh?
You stayed awake. I thought that was great. All right,
Yes.
come on up.
Scott Lane, I live at 886 Castle Bay. I thank you for letting me talk to you about widening of Bennett Road twice before.
Oh, wait, he's done this twice before?
I've been here twice before.
Then no.
3 strikes and you're out.
No, you're past your quota. You're done here. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So, you did approve some money, $3,000 to widen the one end of Bennett Road,
Mhm.
which hasn't been done yet due to, I think, all the weather and the tornadoes and all the other stuff. But that has been approved. Part of the meeting was that you, Alan, brought up the fact that there's a grant that we could pay for school buses
Mhm.
because the road is so narrow that one tire of the bus isn't even on the road anymore.
Right.
But everybody I've talked to does not know the grant or how to do it. Could you help us and could you give me the
Yeah.
name or give?
The program is called Safe to School. So we'd be extending the kind of definition of safe to school. A lot of times they like it to be for sidewalks and trail projects so that communities can make schools more safely walkable. So that's one way we could look at it. There's also some other components in a safety grant that we could take a look at. And those are from ODOT. ODOT does a safety grant. Our downside, the complicating factor for a safety grant from ODOT is that the road you're talking about is not functionally classed. And if it is, and I don't remember but its functionality is going to be very low. So when ODOT looks at a safety project, they're looking for crash data, they're looking for, heavy duty traffic. So their top functional class is going to be an expressway or a freeway. And then they go down from there. So you'd have to argue that that's a major arterial or a minor arterial.
Mhm.
But your grade points, every time you go in and try to get a grant, your grade goes down. So if you're a major road, like if you were 125, you'd get 10 points all the way down to an arterial at 1, and a minor arterial, depending upon its use, could be 0.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of those go way down. So safe to school, we'd have to stretch the definition of it, but I think it's worth a try.
So who would Eddie be the one or Norman Darnell? Who would?
It'd probably be a group of us would work on trying to pull the grant together.
So, okay, because I've sent some notes and no one seemed to know Safe to School or there was ODOT.
Yeah.
So we haven't done anything. So the one thing that I've talked to a lot of.
Well, the
neighbors-
first thing we want to do is we want to see if the $3,000 fix works. I mean, if the
So that's
$3,000 fix
one-
works.
That's only for the last property going into Pierce Township.
Mhm.
And it's not going to affect anywhere the danger part. He's just wanted to widen that up. And there's a barrel sitting there where the road has caved away. He's going to fix that too. So.
Right. Okay.
So the other thing that I wanted to talk about is I've talked to a lot of neighbors and I know we don't have enough money to redo the whole road, but there's one area on the road that's going, when you go toward 125, that supposedly our road is not the 20 feet wide, it's only 17 feet wide and we have 8.5. There's one area along in here that we don't even have 8.5. We don't even have 8 foot. It's a little bit less than 8 foot. And if we're gonna work on something that could cause an accident or be, where the school buses and the trucks, the road is, they are off the road. As I showed you before, a school bus is 8.5 feet wide and we don't even have 8.5 feet.
And that's your
So-
car on the other side.
Yeah, so, well, but you'd cross over the yellow line, which is you're gonna hit somebody coming the other way. So I asked Norman and he said, well, bring this up. He said, I always do what the trustees requested. Yeah, I have to make a motion to have them look at this one area. It's probably about 20, 30 feet long that needs to be widened, maybe one driveway culvert. But I mean, this is the most dangerous part of the road. Can I make a motion that you could ask them to do this, or do they just?
What is it? I thought that we agreed to this one part and you seem like you felt that was a good thing, like that.
Well, that
gonna
was
solve
starting point,
something.
yes, but
And
when I
now
found.
this and now the full pay. One of the realities of this, Chuck, is that the narrow road is slowing people down. I guarantee you that 1,000%. I mean, if you push this initiative and you get that whole road widened, and your neighbors, they're going to be mad because people are flying up and down that road. I can almost guarantee, not that some of it doesn't need to be repaired. I think that one, because this is a road I drive multiple times a day. And that one spot out at the front of it certainly needs attention, and perhaps the spots you're talking about. And then we could consider the grant. I'm not necessarily opposed to any of that, but as far as a safety concern, there is no crash data. The speed data is relatively slow. And I think some of it honestly has to do with the narrow road over there, as weird as that sounds. But people are more cautious, they're paying attention, and they're more engaged in driving because they know the road is narrow.
The school's gonna be starting, there's gonna be more buses, and the part is that when we don't even have 8.5 feet, which is the width of the whole bus, the road is, and actually for a while, is narrower, it's just a little below 8 feet. So, the bus has to go over the other side of the line, or they're gonna have tires off the road. And I'm just asking, when he said he had $3,000, I didn't know what part of the road he was gonna fix.
I
The
assumed
part
it
of
was
the road he's gonna fix is right as you pull up to the stop sign at Gaskins on one side. There's no danger there at all. That's not a part of the road that is critical or anything. Just Norman wanted to fix that up and widen it to where that big drain is there.
Right.
And widen it out at the stop sign. And he's only going one lot, one property, which is maybe 100 feet. And he's fixing the part of the road that fell out, which we should be fixing anyway, because that orange barrel is there.
Right.
So when I talked to the neighbors, they said, well, why don't you fix the part where it's really dangerous, where it's not even 8 feet, you were saying 8.5 is okay, but that's the part that they wanted to fix.
Sure.
So I just wanted to ask you if you could authorize, Norman or Mike to work into that, or do I have to make a motion? Or how does that get done?
I assume that was kind of part of the initial.
No, it was not.
Well, Mike, would you like to?
Okay, but that's not part of this. But that's not part of the $3,000 you approved. The 3,000 was only for the one lot at the very end. It wasn't for anything else except where that one barrel is and that.
All right, well, Mike, we can take care of it. We don't approve every single repair you guys do to a road, right?
That part of the 20, 30 feet, that's not gonna be, we could probably work that in with that $3,000 to fix that other spot.
So why don't we roll with it and see how the service department does with their $3,000.
Get to it, Chuck, it'll be.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
But
I think we probably would have already been there, maybe even with the repair by now, if it weren't for,
Yeah,
it's running.
so far
Well,
behind schedule.
When I
That's
talked to
August.
Norman in detail, he said, well, we're probably gonna have to talk to the homeowners because we're gonna have to move one culvert or two driveway culverts. And then we have to get their permission, and then we have to widen the road out. So I think you're gonna be talking a little bit more money. You're gonna have to do something about having the owner's permission. So that's the part where it drops off like it's 1 foot. When you go off that road, you're right in the ditch. So I don't think it can be under the 3,000, but I just want them to study it before it gets to be winter and it's icy and, so. But that's okay, that's what you're gonna do, that's why I came, just to
Unless I'm
make sure.
mistaken, it sounds like the three of us agree, let's take a look at it and see, if it's not inside that original 3,000 or can't be, come back with another price tag and tell us what needs to be done.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Right.
thank you very much. I appreciate your time and
No problem.
don't kick me out. Make us public.
Chief,
Wait till the very,
Chief
very end
Chief
so we can
Brocksterman.
hear everything else you have to say.
Chief Brocksterman, could you escort him out?
Hey, do that.
Thanks, Chuck.
Okay. Who wants to go next? Anybody? Oh, boy, it's Stan.
Stan Shuttle, you know where I live.
That sounds ominous.
Right.
You know where I live.
I just had a question for Christine. We talked at the last meeting. I wanted to know how much the original survey of the Phantom Jenny Lind Trail cost. The new study was going to cost 158 grand. I didn't know how much the old one cost, and the whole project's going to cost $750,000 to be able to walk to the damn library. So I wanted to know what that original cost was. Is there some way that I can contact you? Come down to the office?
Yeah, they have that number. It's just, they didn't bring it with them at this meeting,
Okay.
but they can get it for you.
Okay, but the whole project's still going to cost $750,000. God help us. It's a quarter of a mile.
I bored the crap out of everybody in this room the last time explaining that to you. Talk to the federal government, dude. You know, when you got to do environmental and you got to do all this other crap that comes along with it.
$3,000 to fix up 20 feet.
We went through this the last board meeting, as I recall, in which case we talked about how much the township would be on the hook, and it wasn't $750,000. These would be grants stacked on top of grants. We went over this.
Wow. The whole thing is costing the citizens $750,000.
And I told you the whole story about school buses and alternative fuels. Did I not tell you that story? Remember? You need to go talk to people that are higher up than these offices because they set this in motion. I'm sorry to say, but you know, when you get a grant from the federal government, it adds cost. And so in our case, we did a very smart thing where we stack things, stack grants on top of other grants so that we can afford it and make them pay for those things. So our portion is as small as we can make it. And that's the way we very smartly try to do these things. Yes. Well, several of the, no, it's not near that at all, but I'll let them show you the numbers. I'll let them show you the numbers. Okay.
Six and the 158 we're going to Spain and whatever the previous one is. So they were already at 250. So whatever the previous one is, it's probably 38, 40.
And if you recall, the first one that you talked about, the $96,000 was used to match a grant to purchase the property so that we could hold it in green space, which is something that this community has said through numerous programs. The Parks and Green Space Committee did one or two surveys, and this community has said over and over and over again, they prefer to protect green space. We're meeting the needs of the community and the wishes of the community by protecting green space. That was the first step. That's the $96,000 that you talked about. We also have an issue over there with runoff. Because of the development that we inherited previously, there's runoff that shoves into the other communities because Sedona Ridge did not plan, at least the community leaders did not plan for maintaining those streets for retention and the like. And so therefore that water is being pushed over into the neighborhood around where the church is. By blocking that and keeping it from being a subdivision, which it was on its way to becoming, we were able to protect that and keep that water pushed over into this one property. There is behind there, there's a wetland inside that property, and it's operating as a natural buffer to keep homes from, or trying to keep homes from being flooded every time there's a rain. So it has, that had a double purpose and a double value. And now we want to go back and try to get additional value out of that property. So you create the ability to have walkability from Sedona Ridge to various things in the community, which again is something we've heard through our land use plan, through our other studies where we've talked to the community. We continue to hear walkability is a valuable and important part of why people make a decision to move to a place. That also drives when you're creating a place that people want to live, it drives up the property values. It also drives up the ability for people to want to live here and stay here, work here, grow here. So these are the reasons why we move forward with an investment like this. And as long as we can continue to find grants to cover it, and we can find ways to make sure that the township treasury is hit as little as we can. Case in point, right across the way, the park committee utilizes the learning center. And the learning center brought 3 bathrooms, which we did not previously have in the park. It also realigned the bike trails inside the park. Township came out of pocket, what, $64,000 for a project that cost almost $1 million.
The original discussion last month was for the Jenny Lind Trail.
Correct.
Period. There was no mention of water retention or whatever the plan is. And that's the first time.
Not in that
come up.
project. No,
So at least,
no.
it was not mentioned last month.
And it wasn't because you brought up the $96,000 match that we used to buy that property. The $96,000 was the match. You're stacking all of the money that we've gone out and picked up for that project. What you just referenced was different from the trail.
No.
Yes.
You just said there's water.
Correct. When we originally bought the land from the church, part of the rationale was to help with water retention.
Oh, yeah, but that was not mentioned last month.
No, because we were talking about a trail,
The Jenny Lind Trail.
specifically a trail.
That's what
But
the
you brought up purchase of the property. I am putting it into the perspective of what we did, the entirety of the project, not the bit pieces that you like to pick.
No.
Cherry picking the project.
No, I wasn't cherry picking. It said Jenny Lind Trail, and
Right.
when you added up all the pieces, it came to 750 grand.
We received a 750,000, we received a grant from OKI in the amount of, we now have to come up with a local match for that grant in the amount of 20% of 750,000. We are looking for additional grant money from other sources to be able to cover that grant for the for that pedestrian trail.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about last month.
Right.
Now scroll back about what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? 2 years ago, when we purchased the land, the 20 acres from the church. Now we're talking about the $96,000 and the 300 and whatever it was. We received a grant to purchase that property. We used TIF money to cover the $96,000 so we could protect that property. That's a separate project, but equal, because that's where we're going to be building the trail. We own that land, so we don't have to go and buy the land. We own the land, so we'll keep the trail on our property, on your property.
That's not how it was mentioned last month.
Exactly.
I'll look
You're
at
right. It wasn't
Right.
mentioned that way last month
Right.
because all we talked about was the trail last month.
I'm sorry.
Well, I also think, Stan, that with some of the things that you're bringing up and the things that you don't agree with as far as the inefficiencies generally of the project, where you're essentially building a trail and you're required to do a bunch of environmental and a bunch of engineering stuff is again, we didn't create those rules of the game, but those are the rules of the game. I mean, I don't know these things for a fact, but I'm going to guess there's environmental and engineering companies that are lobbying to have these
To keep those,
regulations
Right.
put in place so that they can, I mean, I don't know that for a fact. I'm speculating, of course, and this is purely my opinion. But what I'm saying is that these aren't things that I agree with, or I assume maybe Alan doesn't, but the rules in which we try to operate, and we discussed all this, but I think that is the main point of contention, and that's what gives you heartburn, is how inefficient and wasteful it is to pay that amount of money to build a trail. And I agree
Well,
with you,
yeah,
but we
yeah.
can't.
But now you're mentioning that there's something in addition to the trail, so.
Oh, I got you.
Right, and that's the key. That's
I
not what
think-
was mentioned
I
last.
think you need to go back, get all of the money, all of the project, look at everything
Right.
that we discussed 2 years ago to today, what we paid for, get that information from them, and you'll see that everything I said tracks.
Right, well, I don't remember it from 2 years ago. Not that means anything when you're 82. You don't remember what you did 5 minutes ago. But I don't remember that. I just remember what was said last month.
Right. And
Okay.
last month, we talked about a bike trail.
Right.
And
that's what I'm saying,
$700,000
$750
grant.
for a bike trail.
And we agree on that.
See, but these meetings can get contentious. And back when they used to wear wigs and stuff, like in the 1800s, they would like get in fist fights at some of these things. Can you believe that?
Doug Dressing 994 Eagles Landing.
Hey, Doug.
Just as a follow-up to that, and, it's grant money, that's great,
Mhm.
that it's being paid for that way and all that. I think the question that came up last month, and it wasn't, the motion wasn't approved for some follow-up.
Right.
Was the additional $157,000 in engineering fees.
Right.
So I think the task was to go back and ask,
Right. And
about
I
that.
I don't know
It
where
seems
that
fine.
stands.
So I
Okay.
was just kind of curious if there was any update.
And that's coming from an
Yeah,
It's just been
engineer.
a couple of weeks.
And so what happened was the motion for the engineering was on the agenda, and after discussion, the board indicated they would prefer that staff apply for the next OPWC window to cover that cost.
Okay.
So instead of paying it out of TIF funds. So staff is just working to work that into the OPWC grant window. So that's just where it stands right now. So
Okay.
it went from being a motion to be extracted from a TIF
So
to,
that won't be additional money that the township would have to pay for. They'll
Yeah.
Have some match for that.
Right.
hopefully yeah, exactly. Best case scenario, we apply through OPWC. There's a small match associated with that, but it wouldn't be the full amount. And then the,
Yeah.
3/4 or more would be covered by a grant.
Was the engineering company, did you guys kind of ask about their pricing? Because it just, to me, for the scale of the project, it just seemed a little high.
Yeah, we did. And they just reiterated that it's pretty standard just based off of these types of ODOT projects where there's a lot of environmental review and other field work that has to be done. There's also right-of-way work that was included in that as well, and surveying and things of that nature. But I'm also, I'm happy to sit down with the itemized estimate as well. If anybody wants to take a look at it, I mean, we're an open book on that stuff. So you're welcome, happy to discuss it as
Yeah,
well.
it just seemed high.
Absolutely.
For a $750,000
And-
project.
And then there's endangered species that are in the area as well that are taken into account. And ODOT takes a lot of that seriously, even though we're fairly confident that the project would not impact, migratory patterns of bats and things like that. But regardless, that's just something that comes with the money, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a saying in transportation projects, which it's a little bit like if you bring the federal government to your project, it's a little bit like inviting a vampire into your house. They will suck you dry. And so this is the nature of that beast. And so the way you play the game is use more of their money, which is all of our money. But if you're going to have to stack it up like that, you have to use it to our own benefit.
Well, you know how I feel about that damn trail.
You want it to be on White Oak.
I would have thought, I'm just disappointed that we're gonna have a trail, but not a safe intersection. I guess and just to let you know, I've been left messages with Adam Bird, David Taylor. And I guess I need to know who to ask to help with grants. Where do I see the grants? How do we get grants?
I think as far as grants go, I think these guys, they're on the right track. I think that there's money out there. We would have had it for the last round, I think, in safety. But what was the holdup on the safety grant? There was an issue with the safety grant on timing. And so I think we're going to get the
Was that
money.
the state?
That was the state funds. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, I don't want to be too optimistic because I do like to manage expectations, right? But I do think there's going to be a resolution to this fairly soon. I mean, I think if we slide the initial $85,000, bring it to the table, the things that I did talk to Adam about it as well. Adam's going to do what he can to help us out, but I do think that ODOT seems to be they seem to be playing ball, which is not usually something that they like to do.
They've been talking a good game for a long time.
Yeah, but this is the closest. I mean, I've been pushing. I've been
Yeah.
at this too, and so you know, this is the closest, the most excited I've seen them actually get to a project in that vicinity. They've actually paid attention to the crash data, which they had not before. You know, they indicated that. I mean, this is some like 5 years ago. I think I sat down with ODOT. We had them right here in this room, and we talked about White Oak, and they said back then they said that this was not a hot spot. And so a hot spot was an area that had X number of crashes in a period of time. And we were like, that is not possible. But then we found out they only looked at the eastbound lane. They didn't look at the westbound lane and take it in its totality. And had they done that, it would have been a hot spot.
And the first time they did that study, they
Mhm.
did it at the opening of COVID.
Right. So, you know, we did a study years ago on that particular node, and we made a number of recommendations at that time. And ODOT was like, thank you very much. And so yeah, I mean, again, I'm probably more optimistic than you are. But that's kind of a natural state of being for me. But yeah, I think if we need to sit down and go over those TIFs and see what's inside the TIFs and how we can manipulate some of the remaining money in there, along with some of the priority projects that Norm has. I think we can piece something together and make it work.
Okay. Well, should we show up next meeting?
I think you should. My recommendation for these board meetings? Yeah, definitely.
We're talking about doing a separate.
Yeah, no, we're going to do a separate meeting,
just for
but
this.
are you talking about coming to these meetings?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Continue to come, but I was thinking we talked about maybe
Yes.
the 9th having,
I'm trying to do that. Yeah.
okay.
Right. Still do that. We're going to keep that
Please
together.
let me know because I'm going to bring some people with me.
That's what I want.
Very interested.
That's what I want. That's what we want. We want
Okay.
that.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. All right. Now we've got the niche question of the day. Come on down. Make it difficult. Come on. This has got to be $1,000 question.
Now that I explained, I don't think that's the word for it. I think it's pragmatic to an extent. Okay, I'm Keegan Slaney. I noticed one way the local governments can decrease cost of living is using energy aggregation programs and negotiating costs. Unfortunately, Pierce Township does use that, and currently, I believe, if the June data is right, it's 2% less. Right. My main question is, why would we not negotiate with Union Township as well? They're a larger market, so if you had more people, you can negotiate better. Man, I'm stuttering a lot.
I know the answer to this one. Ooh, I got this one. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I know right now that Union Township has about 10 cents per kilowatt hour, I believe, as their fixed rate. I know we're looking for a fixed rate right now. I know they're finishing up in about 18 months. So in like the end of 2027, would Pierce Township be able to work in tangent with other townships to try to get a better deal for our energy usage?
No. And here's why. Good idea. Excellent idea. But right now, the state legislature does not allow individual communities to merge and try to get a better rate across multiple lines. So you'll note that we're using Trebel. We're using Trebel as our aggregator. They had been using another company in Union Township, and they're shifting, as you pointed out. Several other communities around us, almost every community nowadays is doing aggregation. Miami Township has one as well. So all of those are required to just use the population is allowed to just be their individual community. And so that's what we can aggregate because we can only we can only pass that legislation for us, and that's the way the state legislature has that set up. Now, you could talk to Adam Byrd, Jeannie Schmidt, et cetera, and suggest that you allow that, and that would be a smart move at about this time, because the state legislature has been very concerned about property tax issues. And that said, anything that can bring down the costs for individuals would be, I think, welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Come on, man. Give me another one. You got another one in there. Come on. All right, come on. All right, wait a second. Unless there's any more questions, you've got to have questions by now. I mean, just even if it's like something about soccer, we've got a soccer coach here. He knows everything about soccer. I make up a lot of stuff, so I can be an expert on a lot of stuff that I'm not. So fire away.
My kids are in scouts too. I laid awake in a tent all night a few weeks ago.
Well, that said, let's start off with, what's your name? Wesley. So Wesley, where do you go to school? Where? Okay. My kids went there too. They graduated from there. Huh. It was a better school by the time my kids got there. She was going to get that joke on the drive home. So what grade are you in? You're in 7th grade. Okay. So you're in the junior high. So you're off of, what is that? It's up by the high school. Is that where you are now? So what's your favorite class? Government and politics, right? Sure. If it makes this stop sooner, right? Well, what is your favorite class? You like them all equally. So you're pretty good student, Dad? Oh, good. Good
Who
soccer
you
player.
play soccer for? Nice.
Good.
That's a good club. Great.
So you were really into the World Cup, huh? A little, not a lot. Once America got knocked out, you were done, right? It's kind of where I was too. All right. Well, we'll leave you alone at that point. But if you have any questions, we're going to be here for a few minutes after the meeting's over with. So if you want to come up and ask questions, feel free.
Thanks for
So,
coming.
yeah, good to see you. All right. With that, we have no further business. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any further discussion on that matter? Hearing none, roll call. Hey, did you go to New Richmond as well? Okay, where'd you go? Turpin. So you were an Andersonian. Did you move over here recently? Okay. Okay. How old are you? 24. Good. And you're obviously interested in politics and government.
I got 2,200 signatures in about 70 days to get on the ballot for the November election against our current representative in Congress, as I'm frustrated with our representation.
So when I told him to go talk to Adam Byrd, I mean, like, yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, with that,
We had a motion and a second.
did we actually vote on
About to
it?
take.
We didn't vote on it. Okay, so roll call.
Yes. Yes.